So this is actually the bar that Jackson Pollock would hang out at. This was his bar. They were notorious drinkers and smokers. All the abstract expressionist artists hung here: William de Kooning, Franz Klein, Mark Rothko, Clifford Still, Elaine de Kooning, Peggy Guggenheim. A lot of the women were afraid of this place because it was a cheap bar. It was a dirty, cheap bar. This beer is responsible for me getting Lisa Mayola in the back of my mom's Monte Carlo. Bobby was in New York 9 years, all living on the Lower East Side. Knew every nightclub doorman, knew everyone. He was a great man. Real cutting edge, real fashion, stylish guy. Oh yeah, we're getting people flying in from around the country just to see it. We're getting people that read about it and they want to touch the bones again.
With your feet in the air and your head on the ground.
So as it goes, we would hang out at this bar quite often with Bobby's brother. One moment.
Your head will collapse.
Sorry, we're close.
There's nothing in it.
So we would hang out at this bar, and because we're all fans of the arts, and what happened was, as time goes forward, this was in the 90s, as time goes forward, Bobby came down to Austin and opened a modern art gallery. He passed away in an accident in 2004, and in 2006, I read online real estate guide that the building had been sold, where this bar was, building had been sold, the bar's closing for good. So I called down to John Scott and Eddie Patterson. Eddie's Bobby's brother, and I was basically, we need to buy this bar to honor Bobby. This is his spirit animal. This is his memorial right here. We need to buy it. I get the email of the owner of the bar, and Eddie and John write him a letter wanting the bar. And at the end of the letter, so the guy writes back, he says, I'm getting offers from around the world for the bar because it's a very famous bar, but I read in the bottom of the letter that you're Eddie Patterson of Stubbs Barbecue in Austin, Texas. Are you Bobby's brother? And Eddie writes back, I am Bobby's brother. Unfortunately, Bobby passed away 2 years ago. And the gentleman writes back, I'm very sorry. He was a great man. I knew your brother. We would talk till 4 in the morning, twice a week, about art and history and culture. The bar is yours. It needs to stay in your family. So it's yours. Come and get it. And that's kind of how we got it. This was in 2006. So it was sitting in storage from 2006 till 2015. It was about 9-10 years. It was in storage in a temperature-controlled storage unit in about 150 pieces. It was like a jigsaw puzzle. And when we were building this crazy building, 2.5-year build-out, we made an artist studio. We put temporary wall around it, and we threw it in here. And we brought in a master carpenter, a young 28-year-old kid out of Houston, I believe. And we gave him 2 photographs of the bar because that's all we had. And in 9 months, he pieced it together. Like nothing was tagged or numbered or lined up, so he kind of did it on his own. And this is what he gave us. Yeah, so I was up in New York about 2 weeks ago, and I stayed in a hotel with my girlfriend on the Lower East Side, and it was 2 blocks from where Bobby's apartment was. And I walked by his door, where I spent many long nights, which are also early mornings. It's right near Katz's Deli. It's like right around the corner. It's right there. Yeah, kind of made me swell up inside a little bit, because I hadn't walked by that doorway in 10 years. We opened up October 1, 2.5 years ago, because the ACL Music Festival is about a quarter mile from here, and this was a strong build out, but we needed to be open for ACL Music Festival because we're the stop off point going and coming. We satellite the concerts on TV. People come here to get a break, they come here to trade bracelets, and so John Scott and Eddie were the owners, were just like, we have staff, we have liquor license, and we have liquor. Let's open. And our original PR person ran all the VIP backstage at ACL, and she said, if you open your doors, I will fill you with everyone you want in your bar. And she did, and we did. It's been going strong ever since. So it was originally on Cedar Street in Lower Manhattan, and apparently in a hotel back in the 1800s, 1866, on Cedar Street, which today is Wall Street. But if you go back to 1866, think of the movie Gangs of New York. That was 1862, 1863 in an area called Five Points. So this was 3 years later, 5 blocks away. And then it moved up to Greenwich Village, 8th and University, then 10th and University is its final resting stop. Musicians. Bob Dylan planned his tour of Europe in 1965 at this bar. He sat with D.A. Pennebaker, the documentary filmmaker, and the documentary is called Don't Look Back. Joan Baez, I researched, Buddy Holly had been here. Jimi Hendrix's Electric Ladyland Studios was right around the corner. Fill in the blanks. So Bobby is originally from Lubbock. He's an artist and an art dealer, and we worked in galleries together in Soho in the 90s. He was a massive Jackson Pollock fan. He had a small dog name. He nicknamed it, or he named it Jackson. We would drink here because this was Jackson Pollock's bar. But at that time in the 90s, it was kind of an NYU sports bar. I mean, there were TVs everywhere, brown carpeting, there's a foosball table, there's booths. It was actually a very ugly bar, but this bar was in it, and we knew the history of it. If you go along the bar, you'll see all these little indentations right here. These are cigarette burns. And I had read that Jack Kerouac was thrown out like twice a week because he'd put the cigarettes out in the bar, and the bartender hated it. I can't say that cigarette burn is Jack Kerouac's, but it's somebody's.
It's Jack Kerouac.
It's Jack Nicholson's.
I tried this trick and spinning, yeah. She head will collapse, but there's nothing in it. And you will ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind now? I was swimming in the Caribbean when animals were hiding behind the rocks, except the little fish. But they told me he swears he's trying to talk. Where is my mind?